You walk past it every single day. The vending machine in the hallway, the one by the elevator, the one humming quietly in the break room at 2 in the afternoon. You never thought twice about it. You just wanted your chips. But one day, something shifts. You start thinking about the machine instead of what comes out of it. You start wondering who owns it, who fills it, who collects the money. And then the thought arrives that changes everything. What if that person is you? This is what your life actually looks like when you build a vending machine business from the ground up. Most people who imagine owning vending machines picture a passive income fantasy, money rolling in while you sleep, snacks selling themselves, a business you barely have to touch, and that version of the story gets told a lot online, on forums, on YouTube, on the kind of websites that want to sell you a course. But the real story is more complicated, more interesting, and honestly more worth knowing, because what you are actually building when you enter this industry is not a machine. You are building a logistics operation disguised as a snack business, and that distinction will determine everything. So, here's where your story begins. You've done the research. You know the basics. A vending machine generates, on average, between $300 and $1,000 per month in revenue, according to the National Automatic Merchandising Association. You know that profit margins, after product costs, commissions to location owners, and maintenance, typically land somewhere between 20 to 40%. You do the math. 3 machines, 5 machines, 10 machines. The numbers start to look interesting. So you make your first move. You buy a machine. Not a new one. New machines cost between $3,000 and $10,000 each, and you're not ready for that yet. So you find a used one on a Facebook Marketplace listing. $800. A sandwich vending machine from the early 2000s that the seller assures you works perfectly. You load it into the back of your car, scrape your knuckle on the metal edge, and drive it home. The machine sits in your garage for 11 days before you find a location willing to take it. This is the first thing nobody tells you. The product is not the machine. The product is the location. Every vending business operator who has scaled past 5 machines will tell you the same thing. Location is everything. A bad machine in a great location will outperform a great machine in a bad location every single time. You learn this faster than you expected. Your first spot is a small accounting firm, 22 employees. Nice building, quiet. The machine earns $60 in the first month. After product cost, you clear about $24. After the 15% commission you negotiated with the building manager, you take home just over $20 for the month. The math is humbling. But you don't quit. You study. You learn what researchers like Michael Casavana, who spent decades studying consumer behavior and automated retail at Michigan State, documented about machine placement and product mix. Casavana's work on nutrition and vending showed that product selection is not arbitrary. It's a science. Eye-level slots sell more than bottom slots. Items priced between $1 and $2.50 move faster than anything above $3 in most workplace settings. Healthy options increase in popularity during morning hours and decline sharply after 2 p.m. You start mapping your restocking schedules around human behavior instead of your own. Everything changes. By month 3, you have 2 machines, a snack machine and a gym lobby, in your original unit, which you have moved to a manufacturing facility with over 80 employees running 3 shifts. The numbers look different now. The gym machine surprises you. You stocked it with protein bars, trail mix, and electrolyte drinks instead of candy, following instinct more than data. It earns $420 in its first full month. Your profit after costs and the 20% commission to the gym is just under $110. That's real money. That's proof. You start waking up earlier, not because you have to, because you want to. Your morning now begins before most people check their phones. You have what operators call a route, a sequence of stops you drive in an order you've optimized to minimize fuel costs and travel time. You check inventory remotely using an app connected to telemetry sensors you've installed in your machines. These sensors tell you which slots are empty, which items are moving, and when the machines were last accessed. This technology costs you about $15 per machine per month. It saves you from driving to a location only to find the machine is still 70% full. And in vending, a wasted trip is not just inconvenient, it's a direct cut to your margin. Here's what a restocking run actually feels like. You pull your van, which you bought used for $8,000 and which now has your business name printed on the side and vinyl lettering, into the parking lot of a corporate campus. You have 4 machines here, 2 on the ground floor, 1 in the cafeteria annex, 1 on the 3rd floor near a conference room cluster. You wheel in a hand truck stacked with product boxes. You open each machine with a key that hangs on a ring with 11 other keys for other locations. You count what's sold, you compare it to your spreadsheet, you restock from your inventory. You check the coin mechanism, the bill reader, the refrigeration unit if it applies, you wipe down the glass, you note what is expiring, you pull the product that expires before your next visit, you load it back into the van. You move to the next machine. It's physical work. It's repetitive work, but it's also deeply systematic, and there's something satisfying in a system that runs well. By month 6, you have 5 machines. You're generating roughly $2,200 in monthly revenue. After all costs, including product, fuel, commissions, machine maintenance, and the telemetry subscriptions, you're netting somewhere between $600 and $800 per month. It's not life-changing yet, but it's real. And more importantly, you understand the model now in a way no amount of research could have taught you. You understand it in your hands, in your back, in your early mornings, and your spreadsheets.
You also understand your biggest risk, and it is not the machines. The biggest risk in this business is location loss. A location owner can ask you to remove your machine with 30 days' notice in most agreements, and when that happens, you do not just lose a revenue stream. You lose the time you spent building the relationship, learning the product mix, and optimizing the route for that stop. Research by the Vending Times trade publication consistently points to location stability as the #1 factor separating successful long-term operators from those who plateau or exit the business. The operators who build real wealth in vending are the ones who treat location relationships like partnerships, not transactions. You call your location contacts by name. You bring the building manager a snack on restocking days. You ask what the employees have been asking for. You respond to complaints within 24 hours. You are not just a vendor. You are a service. This distinction earns you something no competitor can buy: loyalty. Month 9, 8 machines, revenue hitting $4,100 per month. Net profit, after all expenses, including your part-time helper's wages, sits at roughly $1,500. You are not wealthy, but you are building something that earns while you sleep, yes, but only because you built the infrastructure that makes that possible. The passive income you imagined at the beginning was never passive. It was the result of work becoming systems, systems becoming routes, routes becoming a business. You look at the numbers differently now than you did when you started. You used to see a vending machine and think about snacks. Now you see a cash flow unit, a node in a logistics network, a relationship with a location manager who trusts you enough to give you square footage in their building. You see the telemetry data streaming from the sensor on the control board. You see the margin on each SKU in each slot. You see the route efficiency percentage you've been tracking for the last 3 months. You see, for the first time, the business. The philosopher you have become through this process was not built in a seminar room or a business school classroom. It was built in parking lots before sunrise, in the back of a van that smells like pretzels. In the moment you realized that a $20 month in a bad location teaches you more than 100 articles about passive income ever could. Here's what this business is, stripped of everything. It is a test of whether you will do the unglamorous work long enough to reach the point where your systems do it for you. Most people see the machine and want the money. The ones who build real vending businesses see the machine and ask who put it there, how often they check it, what they do when it breaks, and how they got the location in the first place. They ask the operational questions, and then they go answer them, themselves, in a van, before anyone else is awake. You walk past a vending machine now, and you don't see snacks. You see a business, and there is a version of you that finally knows what it costs to put one there and what it takes to keep it running. That version of you built something, not with a viral post or a lucky break or someone else's money. with a key on a ring, a hand truck, and the willingness to show up when the machine breaks at 7 p.m. on a Thursday. You built a business that runs on its own because you never stopped showing up long enough for it to learn how.
Please, sarapakara.